2021 season. On a bit of a mission. Go up on the slips tomorrow, give the old girl a scrub on the bottom and touch up her top sides. I was planning on going up in October, but it hasn't really stopped raining here for more than a day or so at a time since June, and we're on the 22nd of December at the moment, and even as you can see now, it's not supposed to rain today, but I wouldn't be surprised if we get a bit of a shower. And it's certainly not warm, although the water temperature is 15 degrees, and I'm sure that's probably warmer than what the air temperature is. But yeah, so come down a day early, going up on the slip at about 9 o'clock tomorrow morning, and that'll be at Kettering. So I've decided I'll come out a day early. If the weather participates, we'll go for a bit of a sail. At the moment we're being headed by a very light breeze, so the iron sail's taking care of things. But we'll get up the channel, find somewhere to anchor. It's out of the breeze. I think it's supposed to get windy this afternoon, and then tomorrow evidently there'll be bugger all wind and we can zip round the corner and go up on the slips, but we'll see. Meanwhile, we just chug our way down the river and see how we get on. What we saw on the sounder there was the rock bar that comes out from Barbizon Point, which is over there. Back up here is Port Huon. So you've got to take this reasonably wide, but it's fairly narrow, so we've crossed it now. We're back up into 20 metres. So now we've got the fish farm there, and looking down the river you can see Huon Island, and we're basically going to head for that and then hang a left. Sun's finally coming out, but we've had a few little drips of rain, but I don't think we're going to get much today. But according to the weatherman on the radio there making all the noise, there's a fair bit of wind outside, basically up north I think, so we'll see how we go. Well, we've got a bit of sail up. It's not doing us much good though. Sort of coming from behind at the moment, and probably only a couple of knots in it. I'll put her in neutral, but she slowed right down to 2 knots, which is a little bit on the slow side, so we'll wait and see what it's like a bit further down the river. Maybe it'll fill in a bit, but I've got a feeling that at least for this morning it's just going to be stuff wafting down the valleys and not doing much good. But anyway, we're upsetting the spiders, so that's a good thing. Wind vane's still floating about. We were sort of holding steady on 3.5, and I was going to shut the engine down, but we're still not quite there yet. But it's still on about 3.5. The wind's almost straight behind us. Gully, so 3.4, so I think we'll motor on a little bit more. Well, it does happen. We turn the motor off every now and again. rescue choppers taken off down south, in mind. So we've got about, we're just on 4 knots at the moment. We've got the mizzen still reefed down just because I haven't been bothered to pull the reef out, and the jib is out full. The wind's coming in and off our stern quarter there, so we'll probably jibe once we get round the corner, but that's the speed. That'll still be half an hour off, so we'll just mosey on along. Oh, it won't be that long, half an hour, something like that, but it's all right. A little bit of leftover ocean swell coming in. It doesn't show it on the camera very well, but that's nearly 4 inches, I reckon. We're probably 5 miles from the open sea sort of thing, so you get a bit of wind blowing the fetch up, but it's alright. Bit of salt water on the planks before I wash it off when I get on the slips. Much nicer without a motor on. This is the auto helm on Journeyman. I just got a Italian hitch over here, and I can give that a bit of a pull, tighten it up. It only works for a little while around here because the wind changes that direction so many times that you got to keep on to it. But we haven't got one of those electronic autopilots, so we work with what we got. We're only doing 3.1 knots, but it's all right. Looking back up the river, somebody else has decided to have a bit of a go as well. Got their sail up, so I guess that means it's a race. We might. .5 knots. Always the way. They call this Cyclone Alley down here between Huon Island and Arch Rock. And you can either be shaded and have no wind at all, or it can funnel and get quite exciting. So we got sheltered by Huon Island there, so we're just rolling around in the slot going nowhere, so I might as well pop the motor on and get going. I can just see the roof line of the house between there. It's a privately owned island. I could handle living there, that's for sure. So at the moment we're looking south down the Don de Castro channel and come around to over there. Around there is the quarries on Bruny Island. So this whole part that we're looking at the moment is Bruny Island, and straight ahead is Alona just behind the shrouds. We've got to go a little bit wide around this point. Then we've got Arch Rock just under the other running light. We can go inside or outside that. Because I want to put the sail up, I might go to the outside of it, so I'm further into the channel before putting the sail up, otherwise you just get blown back onto the shore again. But anyway, that's what it is. .10:30, breeze is filled in, coming from the right direction. A little bit rolly just before, but yeah, just with the jib out. Sitting on 4.8 to 5 knots. That's enough for me. After our little scud of rain, almost got a bit of sunshine. Mind you, got gloves on. Tasmanian summers aren't boring, that's for sure. Looking back down the channel, she's open, all nice and clear again until that next one moves through. But there's not much breeze in them. When they do hit, we go up to 5 knots, but then we back off again to 2.5 to 3 knots. So overall it's fairly mild. Simpson's Point over there. All part of Bruny Island. And I don't know if you can spot them just outside the shrouds. There's what they call Blinking Billy. And inside that, towards the mainland, is all quite shallow. So I have sailed on another boat in between Blinking Billy and the land, but we ended up about half a metre under keel. And I believe there's some big rocks in there that you can hit as well. So out here we're in 9 metres, and I'm just sort of skirting the edge of the shallows. There's our blinking Billy. Still very light breeze. I'm doing 1.5 knots. Looking up towards Mount Wellington there's a bit of rain band going through. And what have we got coming up behind us? Not a lot. Might get a bit of a breeze. As is the usual way, Tasmania. Trying to find something to anchor, and the wind decides it wants to blow its proverbials off. So I tried Oyster Cove, but we got blown out of there. And Alexander's over there is a good spot. You know, the guy just gone in over there. You still get the wind, but you don't get any waves or anything. I'm just heading down here round this corner into what they call Quarantine Bay, and we'll see if that's out of the wind. If not, we can go down a little bit further to another place called Gentleman's Corner. We'll go around this corner here. Hopefully we'll be right out of the wind and we can chill out. That's what you're supposed to do, I think. Sometimes you come around here and there'll be nobody there. Other times you'll have 100 baits in there. Oh, there's a few. 1, 2, 3. But the bay looks like there is no wind in it, so that'll be nice. Keep an eye on that flutter and our marks to make sure we don't drag over the next hour or so, and then let's see how we go. I've put just on 30 metres out, and if it's going to be windy I'll throw out another 10 tonight, but I might as well just set it in the one spot for now and let her swing back and forth and see what happens. It's going to drag, I'd rather it drag on a 3 or 4 to 1. We're in, I think I dropped the anchor just in 5 metres, so should have plenty of scope out there. Plus it's a brand new $1,000 Rockner going into nice soft sand, so if it can't hold in this, they can have it back. Anyway, cup of tea time.